Oh my God. What an absolutely massive, and I'm saying massive. I use the word massive a lot. But today, big, fat, massive day. Not just if you're an Oscar shareholder, not just if you're a Zeta shareholder or a DLocal shareholder. Honestly, you could have owned anything in this market today, and you are up massively, massively right now. The Fed came out more dovish than most expected. The odds of two rate cuts this year just absolutely skyrocketed. We were already kind of expecting the September, right? That was already kind of baked into the books. But to get another one this year was kind of something that no one was really expecting. If we look, I mean, I just got to talk about it right now, guys. If we look at Oscar right now in after hours, wow. Wow. We actually are down a little bit now from where we were, but still, this thing is just a rocket. Just a rocket right now. I mean, just a rocket. We're up 9% on the day. We broke the $17 level. I think people are taking profits now, or people are skimming out a little bit. Hit a high of $17.34 here in after hours. And yes, Knots is here with us. He's just driving. You won't get to see his beautiful face today. Sorry. But yeah, massive day, guys. Just a massive day for Oscar. So if you didn't know, I'm gonna ask you how your week was and how your day was in a minute. Knots. I want to go over. Gotta go over what I just posted. Why is Oscar up so much right now? Well, we go over here to X. I just posted about it. 2.2 million Americans just dodged a bullet. A federal judge stopped the Trump-Vance administration's ACA rule. This rule would have cut coverage, raised fees, and hurt lower income enrollees, as we already know. This massively benefits Oscar, CNC, and MOH. And others were bracing for impact. This pause buys time. We can see it right here. Go to Seeking Alpha. U.S. judge pauses change to Affordable Care Act marketplace. So this is going to be a temporary thing. Okay, I want to stress that this is going to be very temporary. And look, they didn't even include Oscar into this. Stock CIELV MOH.
No, they did. I saw
it's
it
right
at
there.
least.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. It's first.
Yeah.
Never mind. We good. I thought they were crap talking on Oscar. We good. So this is going to be temporary, but my thought process, and then we'll get into Knott's thought process, talk about how his week was. Look, a temporary thing here with the judge basically pausing it. The Democrats are already pushing very, very hard to get an extension to ACA subsidies. We were supposed to actually hear something about it last Friday or this week, but I feel like this week we probably haven't heard anything about it because Jackson Hole and such a bigger thing, and Jackson Hole is honestly masking a lot of stuff right now. And it's a Friday, which Fridays are usually, people are out doing stuff, working, getting ready for the weekend, whatever. So I would expect next week we start hearing some Democrats talking about this and using it to push their agenda, right? To push that ACA subsidies extension. And I think this is going to put massive pressure, not just on Trump and JD Vance, but I think it's going to put massive pressure on Republicans to really get an ACA subsidies bill passed. So how was your week, Knots? And what are your thoughts on this massive bombshell of news today?
My week was good. Honestly, could have been better, to be honest with you. Was green, so I'll take that. I definitely sold some things too early and stuff of that sort, and entered some things too early, and could go on and on. But overall, again, green, happy, and we move on. Oscar. Yeah, so U.S. judges paused, ACA being, taken away or cut a little bit. Again, like Ronnie said, it is a temporary thing. Now, also like Ronnie said, and like I've talked about on multiple different posts, I highly believe ACA will be extended, and here is why. One, the Democrats 100% want it, so that is one part of it. Two, and I'm going to quote this, most of the Republicans are in favor, and not exact quote, but most of the Republicans are in favor of extending the ACA due to the fact that if they don't, it will make them look bad in the midterm. So that is something that was said in multiple articles. I didn't fully quote it, I'm driving right now, but that is exactly like what was said. Most of the Republicans do want it due to that case that if they don't extend it or give some sort of olive branch to it, they will look really bad in the midterms because that is a lot of people that will have to pay more for healthcare and so on and so forth. So I do believe we will get an extension. I think it has to happen within 2 months or something, or a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've been saying that for a few weeks. I really think it happens. I think this is going to be a big point. And obviously, overall, market cutting rates is good for smaller caps. And as you can see, IWM took full force of that today, and it's starting to lead real higher. It's only $10 off from its all-time highs, and it's getting there.
Yep. Fully agree. Yeah, the absolute crazy thing, and I keep on posting this. Look, guys, Wall Street plays this sick game of shaking out retail.
But yeah, basically kind of watching that and seeing how it goes.
I think we lost you there for a little bit, but it's all good. Heard the majority.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. But no, I was saying Wall Street plays this sick game of just shaking the tree. And I call it shaking the tree and seeing how many coconuts fall out. The coconuts being the people that liquidate, the people that say, I can't take this anymore. I need to exit. I can't take it anymore. And then as soon as that happens, it's like we go right back up. And then they shake the tree again, and then we go right back up. And what you really need to look at on this daily chart here is it's very simple. If you just look at a line chart, very simple, guys. This is like your basic charting stuff. You have your low right here around earnings. You have a high, a low, a higher high, a lower low, or lower high, lower high, or sorry, higher low. Oh my goodness. I'm messing it up now. My bad. A low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now a higher high. This is your basic uptrend. There's no reason you should be selling out on the most basic of trading, on the most basic of charting, on the most basics of analyzing a chart or candlesticks or a line chart. Okay. I could see if we made a lower high and lower low, but we never did. We never did since earnings, guys. So there's just no reason. Like up here, people are like, yes, we're amazing. This is great. And then down here, people are like, oh no, I'm done. I'm selling. This is crap. I'm over this company. And then up, yay, we're so great. No, everything's going away. We're doomed. We're going to $10, $11. And now back to an after hours up over $17 again, making a higher high right now as we speak, going into the end of the week. And here we are again. People just now getting all euphoric again. And again, how many people don't even know about this news? Because we live in an echo chamber on X where things that we say, we follow the same people, like trading and investing is very small in the vast world that we live in. on X. And so us talking about this, I can almost guarantee we're always first. We're always first. We're always first to the news. So you have to realize this hasn't been echoed out yet. As it does, especially Friday, how many hedge funds people already went home. You know what I mean? So next week, I think we're going to fill this gap up to $20.24 next week. Yes, I'm saying that I believe that we're going to see a two handle in front of Oscar Health again next week. I think the momentum's there now. I think the catalyst is there. You've had such low volume compared to the last big move, and you've been running up pretty nice. So, yeah, looks absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, it's crazy. You want to talk about some other names? Man, Pagayo went up 13% this week. Massive move there. That's a new high five gem that I posted about. IREN from when we talked about it, or no, Pagayo is up 13% today. Excuse me. I think it's up. How much is it up this week? 16% last week. Basically break even this week. Huge names. Huge names. IREN, Oscar, Zeta, Tempest AI. This one we're in as a trade and investment long term. Onto technology or innovation. Delo came down a little bit actually. HIMS came down a little bit. So a lot of these were actually way higher and they came down a little bit since last I checked. But massive moves. ONDS drones. This is just massive. This thing could continue to rip. I mean, we're at $4.50 and their high is $20 off their IPO. Crazy. But you there, Knots?
Yeah, I'm gonna lose you though in a second. So
Okay, all good.
I do want to state, yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of movers, and obviously, especially today, everything basically went up. Just be smart. There's always going to be opportunities to come back and grab some. I mean, especially on a day like today, like you don't really want to be going balls to the wall, entering stuff because you think you're going to miss it. I mean, look at how many times you could have got back into HIMS. Look at how many times you could have got back into Oscar, Zeta. Just talk about. So be smart and wait for those opportunities.
Yep, could not agree more. We are. Look, I went into today. The last 2 days, I didn't buy the dip that heavy. I didn't really add to any trades. The reason for that is simply I did not know what today was going to bring. I really didn't. I did not know what today was going to bring. So I did not want to get into a lot of I already had a bunch of trades. I already have a bunch of investments. I'm already pretty heavy in the market right now. I have my cash position. Yeah, I did not want to add to that at all going into today. And then we obviously had this massive day today. And look at us now. We absolutely ripped. But today is not the day to go out there and where you should have been chasing. The only thing I can say to all of that is that if you are getting into undervalued companies still or gems that are massively undervalued, like I still believe Oscar, Zeta, D Local, Pagaya slightly, OpFi, UNH, like a lot of these names are still undervalued, underappreciated, and I still think they have a lot of room to run. I don't think you should have been out there saying, "Oh man, we're so back now," and then like you're loading the boat on companies at all-time highs. I don't know what Palantir's at. I know Palantir had a pretty big dip um over this last week. Um yeah, like I'll show you like Palantir, guys. Look, could you have bought into Palantir today? Sure. But based on my chart, you now close the week outside the Williams consolidation box. And this means that more than likely, just like we saw time and time again, you are going to see a move down to the green barrier. A train in motion stays in motion. You are going to see this, and we could come down to retest this 125 area. We could come down to this area down here, go all the way down to, $80 to $100 area. We just don't know. This is honestly trying to catch like a falling knife. Right. Trying to catch a falling knife here. And yeah, I'm not looking to do that. A lot of these names that are extended, a little bit overpriced, overvalued. Look, we're right back to all-time highs in the market. I'm not chasing these names. I'm not looking to get into these names. And based on the markets where we're at right now, what do I see happening? It's kind of funny. Knots. I don't know if you can hear me. I called bottom in the community earlier this week. It was kind of funny. So if you look here,
you post that.
Yeah, it was funny. So if we go back to August here, August 1st, we had this, basically like a 4% pullback that we called out based on the Williams percentage range, our strategy that we run. And we popped up and then made a higher low, right? Or kind of like an H formation. And then that spelled the bottom. Lo and behold, a couple weeks later, we get the same exact setup. We break down, we fall down about 4% on the QQQ. We're looking at a 2-hour chart here. We bounce back higher. We make a H formation again. We make a higher low. But not only that, but you see this anchored VWAP. This anchored VWAP has been holding on the 2-hour all the way back to 23 of June. So since 23 of June, you see once, twice, 3 times, a little bit dip underneath, but then we recovered 4 times, 5 times, 6 times now. 6 times now, this anchored VWAP on the 2-hour has continued to hold. So again, it held. And I sat there and, I didn't play this or anything. I was just saying in the community, I was like, look, make another H formation. It looks the same setup as we had back here. As long as we hold this uptrend line, we're going to be just fine. And then we're probably going back to all-time highs. Even with Jackson Hole and everything. And it's funny how a lot of the times, the charts will actually tell you and foreshadow what's going to happen. And clearly I should have played it. After yesterday, we kind of rode this thing here. And then obviously today, big pop on Jackson Hole. Should have played it a little bit, I guess, but I didn't. It's all good. But yeah, this is the type of charting and analysis that, can help you see what's going on. Besides that, on the daily Williams percentage range, you see now we're breaking out. We came down, just like we came down in early August. This was your 4% pullback. 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 Now the 2-hour is bullish. The daily is breaking out and it's bullish. And guess what? The weekly, it's still in the overall Williams consolidation box. So what I've been telling the community is simple. Hey, we're good. Expect a 3 to 5% pullback. But if we break down out of this Williams consolidation box on the weekly with the Williams percentage range, then this market is So the younger crowd says cooked. Absolutely cooked. But guess what? We came down here. We were literally right here at the bottom of the box yesterday. But then today we bounced big and now we're all the way back up here. So as long as we stay within this box, the market, guess what? It's going to keep going higher. And this is where I keep telling people in my community and people on X and trying to teach people. And I remember a post that you made not so long ago, Nick, about on X whenever we were in the April crash. It was like February, March, April timeframe. And I remember this post still. I don't know. I got a weird good memory about some things. And your post was
Me too.
very simple. Yeah, it's funny, right? Your post was very simple. It said, stop caring about the politics, stop caring about all this other BS, and just focus on the price action. And it's so true. It is so true. We could have an alien invasion tomorrow. And guess what? Doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter what the politics are. It doesn't matter if it's Jackson Hole. If it doesn't matter if rates are getting cut, if rates are not getting cut. You're not an economist. I'm not an economist. We don't know the underlying details of all of that. Sure, all information is good, but this is what happens. And this is what they want, honestly. They want you to get caught up in all this information, all this stuff, and guess what? They want it. They sold the market off leading up to Jackson Hole, and how many retail investors out there sold this week? And then how many retail investors just bought back in today? They sold lower, and then they just bought it back in higher today. Now, I mean, if they sold down here, of course, like, yeah, they sold, whatever. But you get what I'm saying, right? Look, I have a simple strategy that I follow with the Williams percentage range. It's just these lines up here. This is what I follow. If we break down out of the bullish Williams consolidation box like this, if we break down, then I know that more than likely, I would say 80-90% chance that we're going to go all the way down to the green barrier. If we go all the way down to the green barrier, that's a 5-10% or more decrease in the overall markets, the QQQs, the SPYs, and then obviously for that WM even more. I'm just going to rely on this. I'm just going to react to the markets instead of predicting. That's where people mess up. And you can back me up on this, Nick. Like, people try to predict the markets. I've been there. This is going to happen because of this, right? Looking at the charts and saying these are the probabilities is one thing, but people out there are like, we are going into a bear market because of this. We are going to lose, like the market is going to crash. We are going in recession. We are going into a depression. The housing market of 2008 is going to crash again in 2025, 2026 because of X data, because of X politician, what they're saying, because of XYZ. Like, what does that do for you? It doesn't make you a better trader. It doesn't make you a better investor. It just puts more noise in your head. And that's it. It honestly makes you worse because you overload yourself and then you're going to continuously sell out. You're going to buy high, sell low because you keep worrying about the alien invasion that may never happen, them talking about UFOs and releasing the footage or like saying they're actually real. We don't know. Or whether or not the stuff in overseas is going to end between the conflicts and stuff. Like, again, like, we don't know. How can we catch something like open? What happened today for this stock is unexplained. Greetings, Ronnie. Always happy when you are live. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Open. What happened to open today? I'll let you. What are your thoughts on what I was saying, Nick? If you got service. Holy. 40% today for open. That is massive. You there, Nick?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. You were talking about open?
Well, I was talking about the overall markets, or like not predicting. Everybody's trying to predict, and we just need to react instead. Is basically what I was saying. If you missed it.
Yeah. I mean, that is exactly what you need to do. I mean, I would say when I first started, I was more so predicting and trying
Yep.
to
Yep.
guess what would happen again, same type of thing. But um, now I'm trying to more so react. Um, you know, get into my levels, take some shots, size appropriately, and, profit or lose. You're not going to win every single trade. It's just something that you really need to hone in. You need to know your risk going into every trade. You need to know, like, when I started, I was a trader where I would enter something and I would literally sell it. And I mean, literally sell it. Like, it sounds crazy, but literally sell it within 2-3 cents. I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was too worried about losing money. I was sizing way too heavy. Um, and then you start to realize these things. You start to pull back on things. Okay, I'm going to size more appropriately. Okay, I'm going to wait for entries. Okay, I'm starting to see, like, when this happens, this usually happens after it. And it doesn't mean it happens 100% of the time, but you have a higher chance of that. So, again, it's about. I sound like a broken record because I literally say this every Friday, but being smart, waiting for your entries, sizing appropriately, and again, just taking the shots when it hits your strategy, when you're following along with your strategy. And again, you will not win every single time, but, you know, if you are truly honing in on your strategy, trying to perfect it, making it better, seeing, okay, here's why I lost on this trade. I'll try to do better on it next time. You will get better. You truly should be profitable. So just stay within your rules, stay within your lines, and be smart and continue to trade that strategy, that is supposed to be working for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a like maturity thing. Like, not that people are immature, but I feel like trading and investing makes you like a child again. And you're a child and you need to learn to deal with your emotions all over again. It's like my kid. He's not even 3 years old yet, and he's like he doesn't know what he wants to do. He doesn't know what he needs to do with his emotions. He simply he simply gets upset or gets frustrated, and then it just like explodes, and just like, doesn't know what to do with those emotions. Like, when he gets sad, he doesn't know what to do with his emotions. And trading and investing make you like a kid again. You have to relearn how to deal with your emotions, but this time around money, around all these different moves, around all this different news, around all this different stuff that's constantly going on in the markets. What Ray Dalio is saying and how the markets are going to crash, the biggest they've ever crashed ever, and what Warren Buffett's doing and how much cash he holds, and what Trump and the administration are doing, and tariffs and blah 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 blah. Like, it's all noise. It's all noise. It's all just noise. What you need to focus on, whether you're an investor, whether you're a trader, whether you're both, what you need to focus on is your strategy and how you come to your decisions of buying and selling. It's all broken down into buying and selling. When do I want to buy as an investor? When do I want to sell as an investor? When do I want to buy as a trader? When do I want to sell as a trader? That's it. Block out all the noise, figure out your alpha, your strategies, right? Use those and go out there and stop Stop doing things based on what the president's doing. Stop doing things based off what other countries are doing. Stop. Because the markets don't make sense. I'll be the first to tell you if you never heard it. The markets make absolutely 0 sense. They don't make any sense. The markets will tell you that the sky is pink or black. And you know it's not. But guess what? They're going to say it is, and it is. It's that irrational. It's that crazy. Markets, stocks can get very, very depressed and go to prices you've never seen before. Example, getting Meta, Facebook at $88 per share. That's depressed. That's crazy. Okay. Getting Oscar at $11 or $10 per share is crazy. Getting UNH sub $250 per share is crazy. But the markets don't make sense. And they are irrational. They're irrational. The markets are full of emotions. So if you can be the person that doesn't let your emotions run and dictate when you buy and sell on investments and buy and sell with your trading, you will do very, very well in this game. If you can't, or it just never works out for you, then you're not going to do well. And then I suggest, just like I made a post about today, if you're going to constantly buy in off hype, or you're constantly going to buy in and then just sell at a loss whenever price pulls back, even though it might just be a higher low, and then you miss the higher high, the basics, then just take your money and either go get a professional financial advisor, financial planner, and let them take their 1% fee every year, or go ahead and invest your money every single month into the VOO. It mirrors the SP 500. You'll get 8 to 9% back on your money every single year, and just do that until the end of time, and then you'll have a good little nest egg. And you don't have to look at the stock market. You don't have to look at a chart. You don't have to look at anything. Anything. You don't have to worry about politics. You don't have to worry about anything. You can go live your life, touch grass, and just hang out. Okay? That's the less stressful part, right? Stock picking is difficult. Trading is difficult. It's not for everybody. But me and Nick, right? We teach our strategies. He has his own strategies. I have my own strategies with investing and trading. We teach all those in our community. We have a joint community that we focus on investing in for long term. We have these strategies. We have this stuff. If you want to join that, you're more than welcome to do so. Okay. But at the end of the day, like, you need to get control of your emotions in this market, because I know I'm talking to somebody right now that's watching this live stream that you sold earlier this week, and I'm not hating on you. I'm not coming at you. I understand where you are, and I've been where you are. You sold this week because you said the markets are going to tank. We're going down, down, down. And then you saw the good news today, or what was perceived as good news, and the market's ripping. And then you were out there taking all that money, which was less money if you lost, and you were buying up stocks like crazy. And I hate to say this, but guess what? Monday we can have a gap down. I mean, markets were up like 1, 2. IWM was up 3% or more today. I'm sorry to tell you this, but we could have a gap down on Monday and just completely decimate everybody who bought high, and then they'll sell low again. So yeah, I'm not mocking. I'm not making fun, anything. Like, I truly want you to learn. I truly want you to get better. I truly do. So does Nick. Explain to us your take on open. Yeah, I'll look at it in a minute. I got to pull it up here.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna be
guys.
away for 5 minutes.
What's that?
I'm just gonna be away for 5 minutes.
All good. So, yeah, guys, get control of your emotions, work on it. And really what it comes down to is stop stop, like what Nick was saying. Stop risking your house. Stop risking your car. Stop risking your normal life. Because at the end of the day, if you're risking that, you're not going to make a sound decision. You are putting yourself in a box of emotions, Anchorman. You're putting yourself in a box to where you're going to put yourself in a bad box and you're not going to be able to break out. And you're going to sell too soon. You're going to do what Nick did, like he was talking about. You're going to get in and be like, you're going to oversize. You're going to get in. And then as soon as it pulls back on you a couple cents, you're going to be like, oh my God, that couple cents, I'm down a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s, depending on what you're risking. And then you're going to sell. And then it's going to go up and you're going to be like, wait, my strategy was this. I knew this was going to happen, but it still went. I was right, but I lost. It's all emotions. All right, guys, let's get into some of these stocks. Open. What happened with Open today? Actually, a lot of my community members were selling cash secured puts on this name, and they bought some leaps in this name, and they were up massive. So Open is up, we'll call it 40% today. 40 freaking percent. Tom, what a day. You know it, Tom. You know it. Is that Tom from the community? I'm pretty sure that's Tom from the community, right? Think so. Yeah. What a massive day. What a massive day. It's so hard to be like, yeah, we had a massive day in the community today. Well, everybody, pretty much everybody had a massive day today. What's up, Tom? Heck yeah. Love seeing you here, man. Yeah, it's hard to be like, you're never trying to brag, but like you want to be like, yeah, the community's doing great today. We're crushing it. It's awesome. It's funny though, like it's not a big brag because the market's up what? Where's it at? 1.5 and almost 4% on IWM. So yeah, it's not the biggest brag, but hey, some people sold out this week and didn't get any kind of big move or whatever. So look, guys, my strategy is very simple. I didn't get in on Open. I was very busy today, doing content, reworking the community. I've been working on a lot of stuff in the community this week, making things more seamless, making things better in the WAP and everything. So I've been pretty busy this week. But you know what the great thing about my strategy is I could be working on all this other stuff, with investments, whatever, right? Just buy, hold, and I research and I find new companies and I stay up to date on those companies that I'm in, whether they're gems or whether they're undervalued, whatever it is. With my trading strategy, it's very similar. I don't have to do that much. With my trading strategy. So if we look here at Baba, right? We're in Baba in the community and everybody was freaking out on this name. Like, oh my gosh, like not in my community or anything, but just people online. Oh my gosh, man, like, what's Baba doing? It's not doing anything. Look, my strategy is very simple. We got a buy alert. We broke out of this downtrend. We also broke out of this downtrend on the Williams percentage range, and then nothing. Then we wait, and we're doing this on a weekly chart. So we sit back, relax. I make some new high five snapshots. I talk about some new high five levels. I'm looking into new trades. I get into some new trades, right? And guess what? Baba's up 4% today, and everybody's like, yeah, it's finally getting going. And it's just the start. It's just the start, guys. Look at this one. Downtrend, buy alert, breakout, broke out of this bearish Williams consolidation box. Boom. Look at that. Massive move. This is about to happen. This is about to happen for Baba, and we are so early. Buy alert, break out of a downtrend, break out of this downtrend on the Williams percentage range, going bullish, 1, 2, 3, easy as can be. And then bonus, you got this massive inverse head and shoulders that you came back to, and you're still like right there at that test line. You got massive moves up to 150, 161, 168, 185. You got great things going on with the US and China with the deals that they're working on. And Bob is a massive Amazon-like player with lots of AI. And yeah, I think they're going to crush earnings next week. Do we expect 10% by earnings? I think we're going to get a, I called D-Lo. I said, I think we're going to get a 10% plus move on D-Lo after hours. We went 40% in 2 days. I think we're going to get a 10% move or more on Baba as well. At least from current prices. But they report earnings next week, and I do believe they're going to have a very outsized move, like we saw with Meta and Microsoft. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, not just in the community, but also on X and to everybody else for free. I just think, yeah, they're massively undervalued. The setup, the charting setup is telling you we're breaking out. This is the time. We got the buy alert. Like, this is the time that we're going to go. Could it be wrong? Of course. Could they report earnings and something bad in there and then we plummet? Of course. But guess what? More times than not, when trading, more times than not, you aren't going to get this. You are going to get this setup, an undervalued company, my 1, 2, 3 setup, and it's going to work out. Trust in Ronnie. Heck yeah. I mean, Wolf, we're in Wolf, and look at this one. Guys, this is what you don't understand. Like, and I didn't even buy this on the buy alert here. I bought it here. So I bought it after earnings here. So yeah, downtrend, buy alert, breakout, consolidate, boom. Williams consolidation box still intact. We riding this one. We're up like almost 100% on this one. Oh, you want to talk about Hitty? Oh, okay, Hitty, an MJ name. Okay, look, downtrend. What's the difference between this buy alert and this buy alert? And these buy alerts are my personal high five indicators that I coded. 1, 2 sell alerts, 2 buy alerts. What's the difference? What do we really need though? We need a breakout. Right? We need a breakout. So this one doesn't matter. This one doesn't matter. This one doesn't matter, right? You're looking at that and you're saying, wow, it's only right 25% of the time. Okay, just throw in a downtrend line or a charting pattern and then get your Williams percentage range going bullish, and you got more than a 25% probability of being right. More like 70+% being right, as we've seen time and time again. And you get your bonuses like your volume and your volume profile. Do you share those buy alerts on your cheapest level group or the $99 group? The buy alerts are in the middle tier for my trades. So the middle tier is all about trade alerts. The highest tier is all about me teaching you my strategies and you getting these indicators to use yourself to teach you how to fish. And then the lowest tier is all about investing only. High five gems, high five snapshots. Those new snapshots you see, I'm giving those out. High five levels, like I posted with Oscar here. And then me and Nick have a joint community called SteadyVest where you get both of our minds at the same time. But yeah. All right, enough about all of that. We're in a bunch of good trades. But yeah, open, and where I was going with that. Sorry, where I was going with that was just like with using the weekly chart, guys. I don't have to sit here and like worry about like what's going on day to day. Like I can check it once a day. I can relax. Or I can check it once a week, honestly. As long as the trend's still good, as long as everything's still good, there's nothing to fear. Look at Tesla. Tesla's one. Tesla, we broke out. I'll be honest. This is funny. Tesla this week, guess what? We got the buy alert, we got the breakout, but then we did this. We pulled back into here this week, and the Williams percentage range did this. And this was yesterday. And I said, you know what? I made a mistake. I should have just stayed in it until the end of the week. But I was sitting there like, yeah, that Jackson Hole, I don't know. If he's any kind of bearish, this is going to really plummet on Tesla. So I just made a risk-adverse decision to just sit there and say, I'm just going to get out and then I'll get back in because there's so much room here. There's so much room to the upside, up to $400, $500, $600. There's so much room. Look, I got out here. I got back in here. I got back in within 4 or 5% of where I got out. I don't care. But now I have this FUD behind me with Jackson Hole, and now I can sit here and say buy alert, full breakout, full close above the downtrend, breakout of a symmetrical triangle pattern, and full close and breakout of the Williams percentage range downtrend. 1, 2, 3, easy as it can be. And now we're gonna make a lot of money on Tesla. Get ready, buckle up. Tesla's about to go big. But okay, let me get to your guys' stocks. So open, yeah, absolutely massive move. We got a downtrend. Am I going to cover D-Low or you covered it already? Nope, didn't cover it yet. I'll look at it in a minute. That's 2 people. Can buy D-Low at current price. Yeah, but like anytime a stock goes on a big run, look, anytime a stock goes on a big run, like you need to like dollar cost average. Like do not I'll be honest, okay? When I started the High Five Gems portfolio in the community, when Oscar was like at 20 some bucks and then it got down to like 80 some bucks. Oh, there we go. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You like re-entered or something. You still there?
Yep, I'm
okay,
here.
Cool. Look, my one cost basis in my High Five Gems portfolio on Oscar is like $18.58. Why? Because to me, anything under 20 bucks for the long term on Oscar is like a steal deal and you're going to make a killing on it. But, you know, I should have DCA'd and should have just, you know, kind of wait, like kind of like drew it out a little bit. But it's kind of hard whenever, you know, Oscar's like 50-60% margin of safety. And 50-60% margin of safety is like getting 100% deal basically on a new pair of Nikes, right? So you just don't see it that often. So it's all good, but yeah, where D-Lo's at right now, guys, just be careful. It's the same thing with Wolf. Someone in my community keeps asking, like, we're in the Wolf trade, and they're like, "Hey, is now a good time to get into Wolf?" I wouldn't touch it. We jumped 78% last week. You know, there's thousands and thousands of stocks in the stock market. Just move on. If a name goes 40 some percent or 80 some percent or whatever, like if it's an investment that's different, like DCA into it. But like D-Lo, we ran 43% in 1 week. We pulled back a little bit, but we're still up from since earnings, we're still up 48%. From before earnings, we're up 68%. So we're still up 48%. Like it's tough.
That's a lot.
It's tough. There. Whoops. It's a lot to chase. What do my levels say? I posted them to the community today. Yeah, just DCA. It's still a deal, but margin of safety is down to like 20% on EPS, and it's still like 40% on free cash flow because they're a free cash flow juggernaut. But again, just DCA because you know what's going to happen. You know, if I sit here, so the same thing happened to Oscar. Like I was sitting there saying it's a deal under 20, it's a deal under 20. It's still a deal today when we were in the 20s and people bought, and you know they didn't DCA, they just bought like I'm gonna go full $10,000 position. I'm not gonna buy any more, and they bought. And then what happened? They lost like almost half. Not truly, but you don't want to be in that position. You never want to be in a position where a stock runs and then you're sitting there, you're like, well, I already bought my position fully and now I have no money. So that's why I really like my level strategy coupled with my high five snapshot strategy. It's just simple. Like we're in the dip buy box now. Just keep buying. Just keep like this is the time where you just keep buying. You build out your position. And then once you get up here, you can DCA in your you DCA, and then once you get up here to like 42 to 63, then you trim, right? And that's absolutely crazy because we're talking about 150 to almost 300% at the trim area that you made. But hey, don't believe me, you know, whatever. We're just basing out here since beginning of 2024, just basing out for a year for no reason. Yeah, for no reason. We didn't do the same thing back here. Base out, and then a big move. Base out, then a big move. Whatever. Don't believe me. not massively undervalued. They're not growing revenues 30%, 32% this year. Whatever. You do you.
Don't believe him.
You do you. Yep. Yep. Yeah, open man, crazy. 39%. Good luck. I don't. This is a volatile name. Very, very volatile name. The daily RSI is getting up there, and the weekly RSI is getting up, is way up there as well. What do you think about open, Nick?
So with open, like, I know a lot of people have been talking about it. I know it went up a lot, and then I know it drained, and then I know it's again up a lot again. I would say from a technical standpoint, obviously, yes, it's high. From a earnings standpoint, I'm not really interested. So for me, it's a no-go overall. Plus, it's highly short-floated. Like, it's just one of those that, yeah.
Trade it, don't love it.
Yeah, that's
Trade
probably
it, don't love it.
Best thing to say.
But guess what, guys? If you know about SBET and BMNR and everything, this is in the same category as those. Yeah, you can gain 100%, 200% in a very short amount of time, but you can also lose 100% in a very short amount of time. I guess maybe not 100% with those, but like 95, 90, 60, 70, 80% in a very short amount of time. So if you're playing open with like 10K, congrats on the big win, but you keep doing things like that and you're not going to have 10K for very much longer. I'll just be completely honest. Like you don't, that's not the way you play this game. Okay. People ask me about my opinion on the fundamental side of it, guys. It doesn't even make it to the high five snapshot. It doesn't even make it for me looking into it if it has revenue like this. Ready? We've gone from $15.57 billion in revenue in 2022. Then it dropped down to $7 billion in revenue in 2023. Then it dropped down to $5 billion revenue. It lost 2/3 of their revenue in 2 years. What do they expect this year? Let's see. They're already at 1.15 and 1.57. So if they keep doing that, they'll be at like 5 or 6 billion. So maybe they'll get back to small growth. But still, we're talking about like 5 billion to maybe 6 billion, and they were at almost 16 billion 3 years ago. It's just decelerating revenue. And then their margins, it's crazy. Their margins were not negative, basically negative 9%, making 15 billion, and now their margins are negative 7%, making 5 billion. So, well, their margins got better, but like, man, like, what kind of leadership is this that they can't make any kind of money on the bottom line, making 15 billion? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, trade it, don't love it. I bought Zeta again after selling at earnings and making profit from your live show. Is the price target still 23? And if so, when can we expect this?
For
my profit targets are way higher. If you're trading it, like, sure, you can trim out at 21 or fair value's 26. But, you know, I think this name could go back to all-time highs, which is like 38. And the measured move of this massive downward falling wedge is $40. So, like, look, they crushed earnings like we thought they would. They still have this lawsuit hanging over their heads. When this lawsuit gets dismissed, like me and Nick think it will, this is a $30 stock. Very fast. They just crushed earnings. They re-accelerated revenue growth. They're buying back shares. Their free cash flow is growing. They didn't dilute one single share this past. They did zero stock-based compensation because everybody was bitching at them about it. They did zero stock-based compensation this last quarter. Yeah, in the stock moved like 30% after earnings, 35% that week. Yeah, so you can trade it, you can love it. I'm gonna trade it and love it. So, oh Nick, I didn't tell you.
I like that.
You like that? I didn't.
Yeah.
Speaking of trading and loving it, everybody knows I already got a really big position in Oscar. Everybody already knows that as an investment. But guess who just opened up a brand new trade on Oscar Health today?
What'd you do?
Well, I mainly bought shares, but I also bought some calls for next year. I usually do 80% shares and then 20% calls. But yeah, I opened up a new position on Oscar as a trade. I always have to like hammer that into everybody. I'm not selling out of my investment shares. This is strictly like these are trading shares. These are trading options. But also talk about I made 2.5K this week selling covered calls at 18 on Oscar.
I have wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I have what's it called? That too. I had covered calls for $18 this week. That paid out. I think I opened 20s for next week already.
Really? I didn't
have to
open up
check.
any yet. I want
But
to see
yeah.
it run a little bit more. Maybe if we get yeah, I got $5,000 in premium. I made 50% on my Oscar position on the premium. So basically it went up 50%. So then I took out I bought them back basically. So then I got half my money or half the premium. So I gave back. I took 5,000. I kept 2,500 and I gave back the other 2,500 basically. You don't understand options premium and selling options, but yeah, pretty nice week for just that one. I mean, that doesn't even. We had a 7K day yesterday after trimming some like Tempest AI and which man, I trimmed out of some of my Tempest, or I trimmed out actually all of my January 2026 Tempest calls because I was a little worried about today. And I was like, I got the profits. I'm just gonna take it. And then Tempest ended 5% today, but they went as much as 8%. 11%. Jeez. But all good. Profit's profit. Yeah, I'm in an Oscar trade now too. Zeta's like my daughter now. Yeah, Zeta's. Look, these stocks are so good, man. These stocks are so good. Pagayo, IREN. I like IREN, but it's just an EPS story. It's not a free cash flow story yet. But I still like it. It's still a gem. But Oscar, Zeta, Tempest, Onto, D-Local, him still at today's prices. OppFi, I get less and less bullish on every time I look at it, but I still think it's undervalued. ONDS, I think these companies you're just gonna see this. I think we're so early. I think Onto, Innovate. I think we're so early on these names, man. And yeah, a lot of people doubt me on my process. Probably you too, Nick. But in due time.
I doubt you all the time.
In due time, yeah.
I don't know how you're profitable.
Right. In due time, man. That's the thing about investing, like calling out a stock. It usually takes a couple years. Like if you call out a stock and say, yeah, I like this stock. I think it's going to do great. I like the company. It's going to grow. Usually takes a couple years for that to happen. If you look at Palantir didn't go from $5 to $180 in a week or a month or a year. It took multiple years, almost 3. Okay. So like the emits of the world that were calling out Palantir at $5 and saying how great of a deal it was. And then guess what? People were calling emit stupid and now everybody loves Amit nowadays, which Amit's a great guy. He's a very lovable guy. But you see what I'm saying? Like, how many people called you stupid or me stupid or the long investor stupid about Oscar? And like the like the judgment's still out there. Like, we could still be wrong on this name, 100%. But man, like, even if we were wrong, imagine getting the opportunity to buy at 11 and then sell at 20 some, and then getting another opportunity to buy at 11 and then you could sell it 17, 18, 19. At the end of the day, what you do with your money, that's on you. But you could have made money on that trade or investment. You could have trimmed. You could have sold covered calls. Like, yeah, all the above. What else? What else? Someone keep HKPD. HKPD. Hong Kong Pharma Technology Holdings Limited. Oh my goodness. It doesn't even have a market cap. Unless I typed it in wrong. HKPD. Nope, yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't even have a market cap. I'm sorry. Who else we talking about? Onto, and this one just looks ready. This one looks ready to explode too. Talked about D-Local. Talked about Zeta. Tempest has just been flying lately. Did I go over D-Lo? Yeah. Look, D-Lo just took a breather. It jumped 40-some%. And remember, D-Local's up. It jumped 118% from its April lows, and now it's only up almost 100% from its April lows. It's just taking a little breather. But you know why I like you know why I invested so much in D-Lo and bought a trade in D-Lo as well? From 2023, look at this downtrend. What do I teach? Buy alert, break out of a downtrend, bullish Williams percentage range, buy all day, make money, rinse and repeat. Adur. Did I miss any comments? Yeah, Onto's moving big, but it's not even like moving big yet, if that makes sense. Like, Onto's like still at the floor. Like, just look at this chart. Look at this chart. Onto's highs are $239. We're sitting at a lowly $108 per share. Broke out of the downtrend, riding a new uptrend, breaking out of the bearish Williams consolidation box. We don't even have the buy alert yet. That's coming though. HIMS is sitting at this same spot that it's at in June when it pulled back, and it's wicking off that. So could be another opportunity. We're almost down at the green barrier, basing out, and then probably curl back up and move higher. Yeah, it's already been an hour and 3 minutes. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, HIMS could go down further. It's this gap fill right here. Gap fills at $30.87. So we'll see. If HIMS breaks down out of this, if HIMS breaks the $40 area, it's not going to be good. Then we're definitely going down to the $30.87 gap fill. So yeah. Guys, if you're here and you didn't like the video yet, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. If you're watching this on X, go over to my YouTube and subscribe. I post videos all the time. I just posted a lot of the names we're talking about today on the investment side. I just gave you 5 stocks that I love for 2026 and beyond. A lot of them were mentioned in this video today. So head over on my YouTube and check those out. And guess what? A lot of those stocks that I talk about in there, I haven't even publicly posted the new high five snapshot one pager, basically. So I haven't even posted those yet. So you get a basically free access to look at that that are only in the community right now on the video. So definitely go give that a look. But I think we're gonna wrap it up. It's Friday. I'm tired. I've been sitting in the seat all day. It was a great day. Thank you, Fed Pal, for a great day of gains and lots of green after a week of, I'm not gonna say lots and lots of red. You know, Q got down like 4%, guys. Like, look, if you got through April, you know red. Okay, March and April were red, real bad. So, yeah, guys, appreciate you all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Go check out my video. Give it a watch this weekend. For all my community members, get to work on those courses. Start game planning for next week if you're trading or if you're investing or if you're running Chill's wheel strategy. Yeah, start game planning for next week. But also enjoy the weekend with family, guys. I know I'm going to do that. Enjoy your weekend with family. Hang out. Don't do too much market stuff. Don't work your whole life. Don't only do this. That's what I'm kind of doing right now. I need to kind of let back a little bit and hang out with family more. But I just got back from vacation too, so whatever. But all right, guys, love you all. Have a great, awesome weekend. I'll catch you next week. Or I'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing technical analysis weekly. So if you want more of the stuff that we talked about today with the technical analysis side of things, you want to learn how to trade, yeah, come join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll catch you guys then. See ya.